runs all over the side, onto the counter, onto the picnic table, onto the floor. Where does it go? Away from the meat, where it needs to stay juicy. What if the cutting board were slightly concave, meaning it had a place to hold those juices and at the same time gave you the perfect shape for cutting, slicing, and prepping? This is our Architec Acacia Concave carving board. This was on the air only one time before when it sold out completely. I was not here for that show. Jane Tracy was filling in for me. It sold out completely. This is the first time I'll have a chance to present it. And we're here to introduce the inventor. John Pittner is joining me. Sir, good to have you here.
David, it is great to be here. I'm excited.
I am thrilled to meet you. And
Thank
Jane
you.
has so many wonderful things to say about you. And I remember choosing this for our show because it was something so different. How did you come to invent this?
Well, first of all, thank you. It's great to be here.
It's our pleasure.
Concave is a cutting board that features, as you said, that very gentle concave shape. I'm grilling steaks for my family.
Sure.
And I'm going to let them rest on a flat cutting board. And I'm going to tent them, because isn't that what we do?
Sure.
We tent it to let the juices redistribute.
And let the residual cooking process happen, yeah.
Well, I come back, and I now have all the juice and all the flavor that I worked so hard to create is run off the board and onto the floor.
Right. And more sadly, away from the meat where it belongs,
Away from the meat, so there went the flavor.
So what if we made it more of like a little concave or a bowl shape where all the juices were trapped, even after you sliced it, so they could reabsorb into the delicious cut of meat?
That's perfect. That's
Look
exactly
at
what this does. So you contrast that last story with the juice running all over the place, and now you have a cutting board where I'm slicing this London broil in its own delicious, ridiculous juices.
I love it. Ridiculous. It's ridiculously good.
Well, it is ridiculously good. That's the flavor right here, and the meat is falling into it.
But look how juicy this is. Look at how it's holding on to all that juice.
Isn't that good?
Because it's resting back in its own juices when you carve this. So maybe you're doing a tri-tip on the grill. Maybe you're doing a prime rib roast. You're roasting a chicken in the oven. You take it out and you let it rest on a cutting board where all of your juices can gather and mingle and reabsorb into the meat.
Yeah,
hey,
mingle.
if you're using your Q card tonight, this $29.97 cool cutting board can be put on 3 easy payments. I love this idea too. How many of you use compound butters on top of a steak? But what happens when that butter starts to melt? It runs off your cutting board onto the tabletop or into the floor.
Exactly.
What if all that compound garlic butter stayed right on the cutting board and kept absorbing back into the meat? It's so good. I
It's
can
pretty
understand
good.
it.
Good.
All right. You may be wondering, okay, well, just how concave is it? How much can this hold? John's got a really dynamic demonstration. Now, you've got how much olive oil here?
That's a cup.
This is a whole cup of olive oil. Can you pour a whole cup of olive oil on your cutting board at home and have it stay put? Check this out. That oil's not running off the sides. It can't, because there's enough of a valley on this cutting board to where it's letting it gather.
But it's very subtle, isn't it, David? You wouldn't think it would hold a cup of juice.
This is wild. You know, because everything is all special offers today, John.
Yeah.
We are offering a buy more, save more on this. And what this means is you pay $29.97 for the first board you buy.
Oh.
And for every board you buy after that, your price drops for $3.
That's
so
a
every
deal.
board after that, it drops to $26.97. So you're saving money if you want to get a couple of these. Think about this around holiday time.
That's amazing.
Thanksgiving turkey time.
Yeah.
When you got a turkey on there and you don't want those precious turkey juices running all over the countertop, you want them staying right there with the bird, reabsorbing into the meat. 400 of these are gone. What else do you have?
Well, I've got a tenderloin here just to demonstrate the fact that you can be creative with this.
So a pork tenderloin, barbecue pork tenderloin.
Pork tenderloin. So you know how you want to sometimes add your signature to a meat dish.
Because if you do the sauce too early, it can burn on the grill. Maybe you want to put it on afterwards, right?
When it's resting.
Yeah, when it's still hot.
It's called a finishing sauce, so do it when it's finishing, right?
Love that.
So,
finishing sauce.
So you're going to put and you saw capacity, so you can put on as much finishing sauce as you'd like, do whatever you want, and then tint it.
You know what? And the reason you want 2 of these, what if you're doing mixed grill? So you've got beef on one, you've got chicken on another.
I couldn't have
You've
said
got
it better
pork
myself.
on one, you've got fish on another. I mean, whatever the case may be. You might be doing a really nice fish and it's got a nice butter sauce, or you add a compound butter to a fish after you grill it.
Yep.
Or a nice white fish with a garlic butter or a
Perfect.
white wine butter.
Perfect.
Delicious.
Ridiculous.
You may be, I love it, ridiculous.
Well,
I
it is.
love that
It is.
adjective.
Sorry.
You can say that all the time. I love it.
Okay, well, I
we
will.
don't use it enough on this show
I
because
use it
most
too
people would
much.
call me ridiculous, but we don't use the word ridiculous
Yeah.
enough. Now, let's talk about this. What do we love in summertime? Juicy, sweet watermelon. The kind of watermelon that's so juicy you wipe your chin with every bite, right? But what happens when you go to cut that on a regular cutting board? The juices go everywhere.
They go everywhere, and everybody has a solution. The favorite solution is to put towels around the cutting board so that when you go to slice it, the juice runs off your board into a towel. Does that make sense? No. So with concave, you can carve with confidence on this board.
700 of these boards are now gone. And what I love also, because these are acacia wood, a
Yes.
very strong,
Yes.
sustainable
Yes.
wood,
Yes.
no two will be alike. I love to say about acacia wood, every cutting board will have nature's handprint.
Yes.
Because these cutting boards are beautifully natural acacia wood. So every single one will be different. Everyone unique.
Right.
But all of them designed the same.
All
with
of
that
them
little valley
all
on
of
the
them
inside.
have concave. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, what do you have here, sir?
Well, here I have another steak. So again, just to demonstrate.
You have a knife. Okay, good.
Just to demonstrate.
I'll get you a fork. I'll get one.
Okay.
I'll get one for you.
Okay. Thank you.
900 of these are gone. These are flying. You guys grab them while you can. They're perfect for summer barbecue.
This is just to reiterate the fact that you're going to be carving your meat in its own delicious juices. By the time I get done carving this whole steak,
Right.
all the juices have been redistributed into the pieces.
Let's pull
so
this
that
way.
so that you are now serving that steak.
And look what's happening here.
In
I'll move
its
this
own
back just a little
juice.
bit. Let's pull him back just a little bit. Look how what's happening here. All those juices are being reabsorbed right back into the steak because it's resting in it. This is what's so nice about that. Now, you obviously let meat rest a bit so it can reabsorb its own juices.
Right.
But no matter how long you let it rest, once you start to cut it, it starts to get away from you.
It does.
This is perfect. And if you want a little extra dose of flavor, just pop that right down into the juice. Just go ahead and get a little dunk right down in.
I have to tell you, when you start slicing on a concave cutting board and you're doing it in front of people who have never seen concave, you got to watch their fingers because they're in there. There's a feeding frenzy going on.
Well,
on
there's,
these boards.
we eat with our eyes
look at
as
that.
much as anything. And if it's that juicy
Look at that.
and tender, why wouldn't you want to reach in there for a bite? It's all I can do
It's
not
good.
to just pick the whole thing up and eat it.
It's good stuff.
That's what I'm talking
It's
about.
really good
I
stuff.
love this idea, and I love,
I love that you love it.
inventive entrepreneurs, and that's just exactly who John is.
Well, thank you.
1,500 of these are now
Oh, wow.
gone.
That's awesome.
Everybody is picking up more than one, and you can save some money when you do that. Buy more, save more. Every item's a special offer
that's a
today.
great deal.
So stay on the line. We'll get you all squared away. And John, a little bird tells me that you have other sizes of this board. Is that right?
Not for QVC. This is exclusive to QVC.
Well, this is only available here, but we're also working with you on some other things going forward.
Yes,
aren't
oh,
we?
yes.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, is what I mean.
We're going to be
So-
doing this in a kind of a turkey size.
In a turkey
This
size, which
fall.
is what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Exactly. All right. Mr. Bittner, a pleasure, sir.
Great.
Nice to have you back.
Great to be on your show. Thank you.
Stay with us, everybody. We've got lots more. And, oh, Tara McConnell is here. Thank you, sir. This is awesome. Tara McConnell's here with something brand new. Okay, what we've got for you is her star